My summer job, a Five Nights at Freddy's Creepypasta Part 1. Everyone has a precious childhood memory they hold on to. It's not until they grow up and then realize these memories are truly nightmares. I had just recently finished my final year at school and just then decided to enjoy my last summer vacation at my hometown. It sounds strange since my college is where all my parties and fun and events were held. Also, since it was the last time I could enjoy such events. I gotten a taste of the last year, but then the type of things happened to me. My parents rarely used my childhood home anymore. They only used it for the beginning of each year or month or two, so I decided to live there while the time was being. My parents told me that it was fine for me to come over a phone call saying, as long as I pay the bills, I'm fine. I hadn't been in my hometown for some years. I lost my job as a grocery bagger and decided to restore newspapers ads. Since I was too lazy to drive around town searching online for one, I flipped through an employment section. One newspaper babysitter? No. Exterminator? Nah. Newspaper delivery? Nope. I did a good 5 minutes of scanning through the paper continuously until I came across one rather interesting. Freddy's Fazbear's Pizza. Freddy's was one of the most awesomest places my mom could have taken me whenever my father was out of town or just not home, or when I just was good enough to behave for a special occasion or treat. Unfortunately, the job was for a security guard during the night. And with no idea of what position I was taking, I couldn't turn them down. Freddy's was my favorite place growing up. I had to try it out. I immediately circled the ad with my red pen and called up the pizzeria. They said I could have the job without an interview. Only thing they asked me was for my name, Mike Smith. They also asked me for my age, 23. I was then told that I could start off this fall, November to be exact. I was a little surprised this fall. I began to rethink the working here, but then I remembered all of the cash is well earned, and at my job at college I couldn't have enough money for a couple of months before November. Before I took the job. Yes, I cheered, knowing now that my job is one of my favorite childhood places ever. And the job doesn't even take up any of my time during the day. I just went upstairs to my old room to sleep, knowing that now my summer is now coming to winter. This next day, I decided for a little tour of my old town, so I then decided to take a nice walk down Main Street, and then went through the community park, and even passed by Freddy's. It was good to look at the place again. I didn't want to go inside because I'm sure people would then find it weird that a grown man with no children walks into a child's place of happiness. Basically, I looked like a pedophile. While walking down this business streets in my town, I saw a newspaper article stating, "Murder case of 5 children reopens." In the bold letters to the top, I didn't want to take too long to glance at it, but I realized the picture a long title was Freddy's Fazbears. I was confused. I decided to make a copy and read it. Supposedly, a man dressed up as a Freddy's Fazbears then lured children away from their parents to kill them. I was shocked and disgusted. Whoever could do this? The next couple of months weren't very eventful. None of my childhood friends returned home like I did. Even knowing that I was still here, I saw some of my old relatives and my parents thought I was about to visit me, but I blew them off from finding out the horrible mystery of my perfect childhood, and things just kept getting worse and worse until around November came around, November 8th to be exact. It was my first day on the job and I had little money left, so it was a good thing to have some money finally come in. Night 1. It was Monday night and I was about to head to the pizzeria. I was a bit excited and worried at the same time. Excited because I was starting a new job at one of my favorite childhood spots, but I was also worried because it was a night shift and I was planning on sleeping the whole day, or at least for the rest of the day, but I couldn't sleep or fall asleep during the job. Oh well, I said to myself, I'm not giving up that much anyways, it's okay. When I arrived at Freddy's, a man was waiting outside for me. "Hello, are you the owner?" I asked. "Who wants to know?" he responded. "I'm Mike Smith here for the night job," I said. "Oh yes, how could I forget? Who else could it be at 12 a.m.? He chuckled. "I don't know. Neighbor watch?" I laughed slightly. "Are you the one going to be giving me some basics?" I continued. "Nah, I'm just the owner. Well, I guess. Well, I really don't know. I'm kind of your mentor. I just left you some messages on your office. Well, here you go." He handed me the keys. "Remember, the shift starts at 12 a.m. It doesn't end until 6 a.m. You got it?" He told me. "Yes, sir, of course," I replied. "Good. Well, good night, son. Don't mess this up, or else," he said, walking towards his car. "Good night," I called to him, but I don't think he heard me. I then opened the doors to the place. Well, unfortunately, the door was already unlocked. but that doesn't mean much to me because I already had the keys in my hand. I then recalled sitting at the party tables with my mother and my friends, eating pizza, watching Freddy and his band sing. Looking up on stage, there was Freddy, Chica, and Bonnie, and how nice did they look to recite those names over and over again in my head. After I relived my childhood memories, I then scanned the rest of the building, looking for a security office. My guess it was in the back of the building, which it was. I peeked around the corner, there was no one there, but I walked into my room where some annoying sound of a rotating fan. I thought about turning it off, but then realized the room was really too warm, so then I had no choice but to keep it on and running. I noticed the little deep sound going through every couple of seconds. I located the sound of the message machine. I pressed the play button and the voice came on. I was surprised to wonder, who could it be? Was that my mentor? His voice then played.
Hello? Hello? Hi. I'm the old security guard at Freddy's Fazbear's. Hopefully you're getting this message. I need to explain a couple of things to you now. I'm actually finishing my first night here, getting my job done. Now, let me explain the basics. At the table you're hopefully at, you should see a tablet. And glance over it, now you can see what was right. At the large tablet of the gray, you're sitting at this table. You can now turn it on. You can see all of the security cameras throughout the surveillance footage. And when you're checking through the cameras, make sure you check the main stage, along the other difference of the squares on the map. These are the squares that are actually security cameras you need to check when doing your surveillance shift.
I was then very heavily confused as the old man continued to talk on the phone. I was looking through the cameras and it didn't make any sense to me.
Oh, and by the way, you shouldn't have that much of a problem with Freddy and his friends because it's your first night. But stay safe, check those cameras, and make sure you check on Foxy. Oh wait, yeah, I almost forgot. Foxy, Foxy, you need to check on Pirate's Cove. Yeah, make sure you keep an eye on him every once in a while. And especially all your other animatronics. They like to seem to go into a free roam mode. They they're okay, they're safe. Just make sure they don't see you. Their AI is incapable of understanding what you are, so if they see you, they're gonna think you're an exoskeleton, so they're gonna shove you into a Freddy's Fazbear suit. Yeah, it's something about their free roam. If they don't roam around, their circuits will lock up, and that would be okay, but they have to continue to roam, so if they see you, they're gonna want to put you in a Freddy's Fazbear's costume. Yeah, we didn't tell you that when we first began, but hey, it's totally safe. Check those cameras, make sure you check on Foxy every once in a while, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good luck. Bye.
The message ended there. I checked my cameras and sure enough, the power percentage was there. And it said 80%. Wow, 20% was gone in 5 minutes. Maybe it was because the screens were on for a long time. That might be a bad idea. But what else can I say? I gotta continuously check the cameras, especially the little fox in Pirate Cove. I don't really even remember him as a kid. I just always remember looking up and it was closed for some reason. I then checked the cameras thoroughly until I found Pirate's Cove. The curtain was there and it was closed. The sign then read out of order. I then checked the halls looking for Bonnie, if she was even there. I came to a conclusion that the name Bonnie was a girl, so if she wasn't there, I checked the cameras next closest to me to see where they were. I then decided to check the doors with the lights. Nothing on my right. I then checked my left. To my disbelief, there was Bonnie staring at me. I smashed the door as hard as I can, as fast as I possibly could. I was terrified, but I realized they're not real people trying to hurt me. They're just robots, or animatronics as the mentor calls him. I then calmed down and pressed the door light button to see if he could be there still. I could see the shadow of Bonnie or something. There was something there, something showing Bonnie was there. Hesitantly, I opened the door. To my surprise, Bonnie wasn't there. Freaking out, checking the rest of the cameras, I checked Pirate Cove, and it was slightly open, but there was nothing there but pitch darkness. What was under those curtains? I was so afraid and terrified with only 14% left. 6 a.m. came around. Thank God, I said to myself. My shift is over. I went home thinking that day, why am I doing this job? Why am I continuing? Am I gonna go there tomorrow? As I got home, I crashed on my bed and fell asleep. By the time I woke up, it was almost about the time for my new night, night 2. I wondered what horrors await this night. This was Five Nights at Freddy's Facts. Now that concludes part 1. Part 2 will be on the way very shortly. Thank you for listening to my creepypasta on Five Nights at Freddy's. I hope you'd enjoyed. Part 2 will be on the way very shortly.